Oh my god, your poor dad.
Okay, let's not get started. Go. All right, welcome back to Your Poor Dad. I'm Jade.
I'm Paige. And I'm Bailey.
Wow, you guys, we didn't do the cringy opening with I'm Jade, I'm the oldest.
Only you think it's cringy. Well, I was going to introduce myself as the baby sister, like Amy does
Hi,
on
I'm
1,000 Pound Sisters. So Bailey and I love watching 1,000 Pound Sisters. And Amy and Tammy are the sisters that were 1,000 pounds combined. And literally, so Amy had the gastric bypass surgery, so she's not, she's not 500 pounds anymore.
Amy's the dark-haired one, right?
Yes. But she introduces herself to Tammy's doctor. She goes, I'm Amy, I'm the baby sister. And Bailey was like, what would you do if I ever introduced myself like that to anybody? And I was like, I'm Paige's baby sister.
Ugh.
Why does that sound
so
weird?
perverted.
Weird.
You know what I love about 1,000 Pound Sisters?
What? Sodies? Oh, we love sodies.
I've never watched the show ever, but I stumbled upon a TikTok, as I do, and they were showing her have like a meltdown on YouTube about a cockroach in the background of 1,000 Pound Life or 1,000 Pound Sisters, and everyone was making fun of her about this cockroach. And then in the confessional, as they're interviewing her about this time in her life, TLC shows there's a cockroach coming up the wall. So they totally trolled her with that.
Okay. First of all, we don't need to we don't need to go there. However, all I will say is yes, Amy was not the cleanest person. She had hoarder tendencies, and you know what? She hired a team to help clean out her house for when she had a baby because she wanted to live a better life. And you know what?
She had a baby?
Yes. She had a baby.
Does she even
wait. I need you. Don't say anything. I need you to guess. It's a boy. I need you to guess his name. It's what Dad wishes my name was.
Gage.
Yeah. Gage.
I thought his name was going to be Wyatt.
But Dad would spell it Gage like a gauge on a motor. You know, like
my God.
G-A-U-G-E.
I think that's like literally how you spell Gage.
No, it's not. You usually spell Gage G-A-G-E. The name.
Yeah.
But if there's a gauge on...
Yeah. That is Gage.
Right. There's a U in...
No, that's gouge.
No. Bailey's right. A gauge, like a motor gauge, is with a U. There's a U.
I think it's
We'll look it up later.
Okay.
But first of all, before we get into anything, I need to make a correction from last episode because I'm still completely
I would also
embarrassed.
like to make a correction, but go ahead.
I was so embarrassed that last week, whenever I was talking about my mom's birthday being on the 8th,
My mom's?
and then Valentine's being
Okay,
four
you're
days
being hard
later.
on yourself.
Okay, I know it's 6.
I didn't.
Everybody, I know it's 6, and I know Jade also agreed that it was 4. We know that it's 6. I just need to say
here
that.
for math. Okay, but I would like to make a correction because I had a couple friends call me out and they're like, everyone in LA dates a billionaire. And then one of my girlfriends was like, were you on your period last week? And I was like,
Yes.
Yeah.
You want to know how we know? Because Jade was a monster last week.
Yeah, that's why the episode last week wasn't as good as the quality product we always put out.
If we're going to be transparent, let me just tell you something. We've recorded last week's episode
Twice.
But the first day we recorded it, we finished and Jade's like, I didn't like that. I felt like we weren't on it, blah, blah, blah. Let's do it again. And we were like, okay, cool.
Fair enough.
The next day, we start recording again. We're like 30 minutes in and Jade just stops and she goes, I feel like yesterday's episode was better.
In the middle of the recording, I was like, this
isn't good. And she was like, I feel like yesterday's was better.
Yeah.
Did you? Because yesterday you said it sucked. So that is honestly somebody who is having some emotions and some feelings.
No. Okay,
this is us learning and growing. We don't know what we're doing.
This is so us.
This is so us.
You know what else is so us?
Jade being difficult? No.
Jade, okay, let's take a poll here. Let's take a blind poll. Everyone close your eyes.
Okay.
Raise your hand if Jade is the most difficult. Raise your hand if Paige is the most difficult. Raise your hand if Bailey is the most difficult. Okay, so I think we can all agree Paige is the most difficult.
No, because
okay, thank you.
I never closed my eyes.
Bailey never voted, did she?
I never voted.
I knew it because I opened my eyes too.
And I just brought your hand down.
Okay. Jade and Paige are equally difficult, and so one day you guys will see just how difficult Paige is. But let's move on because this is getting a little too...
People love it. We're real.
Okay. Something just happened before this episode that I think we all need to address. And for some reason, the movie Spice World got brought up. And like most women in the 90s, Spice World and the Spice Girls completely consumed our souls.
Yes.
I cannot tell you how much I love the Spice Girls. Like I was obsessed with dogs. We can get into that at another time. My obsession then went to Spice Girls. It's literally all I thought about. I wanted to be Ginger Spice in my soul.
Well, and I think the first thing we need to address, because this does, not this conversation, it will play into other conversations, but like you always had the first pick of any bandmate, right?
Well, yeah, because I was on the pulse of pop culture in the house being the oldest.
Right. So it's like Jade was like, we as a household love the Spice Girls, but I am Ginger.
Right.
And so then I, being the second, like I get next best pick and like I am Baby.
But I would have to argue that in the 90s,
Baby.
I think... You are a big fat baby, but I think in
You
the
think I'm
90s, okay, correct me if I'm wrong. The number one Spice Girls, because every group of girls claimed their Spice Girl.
Yeah.
And I think the top ones that went first were always Baby. Baby was like the number one Spice Girl to go first.
Because she wasn't like that big of a reach, you know, like she was.
But she was so cute.
Exactly.
Well,
and so, like,
so
when
what
you're
I-
a young girl, it's like that would be like the closest one that you're going to relate to.
Yeah.
You know?
And then
So, but what's funny is like in my the world I grew up in, I thought that like Baby was almost like a leftover or whatever because like
Because had
you
Ginger?
had it was like of all of
Who
five.
was your first choice?
I don't know. Like I never even like
You didn't have the option
I
for a
truly
first choice.
think Baby was my first, but I was picking at a 4. You were picking at a 5. I was picking at a 4. Bailey was picking at a 3. You know, actually Bailey was picking at a 2.
No, Bailey was picking out a 2 because
I was picking out of one.
it was me and my friend Catherine, and Catherine was sporty. And I think sporty was also a number one choice because back in the day, the Adidas rip-off pants and the Adidas jackets were everything. They need to bring back the Adidas big puffy like the whooshy jacket. That jacket would be, I'm surprised it actually has not come back because every girl who was cool had that jacket and I never had it.
You weren't
which
cool.
shows you I was not cool. But okay, so I had Ginger, so that just, I'm sure my parents were like, oh great, Jade wants to be Ginger, she wants to be slutty when she gets older.
Well, but like, what about Ginger drew you toward her?
Her hair was so beautiful to me.
Well,
With the,
so
the
no,
blonde
well that's the
streaks
thing.
around.
Like
The blonde
it
streak.
was so prominent. Like now, if I was ever that streaky, I would die. But like the blonde streaks and the red,
Streaks were in
Hell
back in
yes.
the 90s. And also, I think it was like a very cartoonish look too, because she had like the huge boobs, the big lips, the big eyelashes,
Yeah.
the blonde streak, and then the Union Jack on her dress. I just thought she was the most fabulous thing I've ever seen in my life. I was like, that is being a woman. Like, I would go steal my mom's bra and I'd put it on and just be like, one
with your
day,
puffy nipples.
I hope that these puffy nipples can
Pretty puffs.
fill out this huge bra. Meanwhile, our mom has like, no offense, mom, but you have like B boobs, and I grew into like double D's. So, anyways, my manifestation worked, and now I have some Ginger Spice boobs. But
True,
yeah.
true.
I think that's really telling for you of like who you like were looking to at that time for you to be like, I want to like see this like for that time, like it was almost a caricature of like, you know, the
Who I thought a woman was.
Well,
Exactly,
because
like
they
the-
each had a persona, and like
Yeah.
that was the persona
And
that
I
like
liked-
drew you.
like the
But
larger
also,
than life.
She was the most like, I saw her as the leader. I also saw her as the most like sexual one. I saw her as the most like feminist one. She stood up for what was right.
She was
like
out there.
Power. Like that was what I saw Ginger Spice as, and I saw everyone else like beneath her. I was like, I can't even imagine wanting to be another Spice Girl. Like that is my Spice Girl.
I like that.
Yeah.
Well, what's crazy for me now is when we were picking Spice Girls, like I was so young, like I was just like, oh, my mommy is my best friend, like yes, like I am Baby Spice. But what I find now that like TikTok is a thing, like I see occasionally like people talk about like Spice Girls, NSYNC, like whatever, you know what I mean, and like talk about their favorite like band members, right? And I do find that most people like Baby Spice was
she's
the popular Spice
Girl,
and it's just so funny to me that like I
She
thought
felt like
that
a
I was
leftover.
getting a leftover
Yeah.
because like, well, Ginger was like the hot commodity because Jade took Ginger first, you know what I mean?
So weird because I don't have that perspective at all because I
Had the
am
choice
the
of
oldest.
five.
Yeah. So I don't even know what it's like to have somebody to like pave the way because I've just been like, I like Ginger.
But that gives me something to Bailey because like I did not think that I was like missing out on Ginger. I was like, okay, yeah, so like Jade's Ginger,
Ginger's
and,
the coolest.
like, and I am Baby, and then so it's like we're weeding people out, right? And so
Yeah.
then it's like by the time we get to Bailey, like Bailey is scary.
So it was me, Ginger, Catherine was Sporty, Paige was Baby, and then Bailey and Catherine's younger sister had the choice between Posh and Scary.
And it was obvious.
And Bailey wanted to be Scary, and Victoria? What's your friend's name? Andrea. She was Posh. And she wasn't very posh, but like who was posh back
But she
then?
wanted to be posh.
Yeah, she really did. But the thing about Posh that was cool is that Posh had that like point.
And all she needed
But
to do was
Scared
like
to say,
wear.
"Rah!"
That's true.
Yeah.
I didn't think that it wasn't like, oh my God,
But don't
I'm
you,
getting the thirds. I
don't
was
you
like,
think
I
now-
freaking love
Exactly.
Scary Spice. Like, I feel like that was the right fit.
Scary Spice was like the leader. The actual
love
leader.
being Scary Spice. I still want to be Scary Spice for Halloween in the bralette with the
astronaut
astronaut
outfit.
pants.
She had a very cool look.
But that's the thing is like even though you had first pick, I had second pick, Bailey had like fourth pick, whatever.
Fifth pick.
But it's like I did not feel like I had a second pick. Like I feel like I am Baby, and like I think Bailey feels like she would choose Scary.
That
No, I would
speaks to the
choose
beauty
Scary.
of the Spice Girls.
Because they're all good.
and the
They're all
beauty
good.
of sisters. Like we're literally not all the same. The Spice Girls are not all
But
the same.
I wouldn't agree. We can get into this after, but NSYNC, I don't think we'd have the same argument. Like you would definitely be settling with NSYNC.
I can't name another person other than Justin Timberlake.
What?
We'll talk about that
You're
after.
so Gen Z.
We'll talk about it after.
You're literally so Gen Z.
I was born in 1995.
Okay, so one of the videos, first of all, Spice World was a movie that was
changed my life.
we could not consume enough Spice World. Like that movie was so important to us, but also we could not get enough Spice Girls because the internet was just becoming a thing. So I remember like loading AOL.com and being like spicegirls.com, and then it would just like load like line by line, and it was so slow, but I was like, what? I need more. And then we'd go to Blockbuster, and then they would have like random Spice Girls like documentaries there, and we'd be like, we could not get our hands on enough Spice Girls.
Well, and like we had the Spice Girls Barbies, like
Yeah.
we loved.
But it's like they were so, it left us wanting more, which today you can get as much of a celebrity as you want.
Well, and yes, it left us wanting more, but like another thing about our family, which maybe not everyone, like we have music running through our blood. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so it's like I'm going to say something completely wrong here, but it's like looking at the Spice Girls was like could be a reflection of us. Like this could be us. You know what I mean?
Maybe it's like a reflection of our delusion. Like it's not
Exactly.
so far
There
off.
you go.
Like we thought, you know what? Not so far off to be the Spice Girls.
Exactly. But it was like my dream. I'm like, these girls are so different. They're all so fucking cool.
And they're all so hot. That's what I was
So
like.
hot.
They all have boobs, minus 40. They all are just like so feminine, but like still so strong. And like what I loved about Spice World is that like every outfit was coordinated. And
What are you going to wear today?
the little Gucci dress. Oh, the little Gucci dress.
Those outfits were coordinated.
And it was so 90s with like the blow up furniture, and they're in the bus, and it was just like so campy, and that movie was perfection.
And
It still
honestly,
is.
like, they brought aliens into it. It's
Yeah.
like a little sci-fi.
And then
like,
when they're at where the Spice Girls, yes indeed,
the military.
and then they're all wearing like different versions. That's what I love the most. Like each day had a theme, and it was like they dressed to their character's theme.
yeah,
and
it's
it,
like you want to wear pants, I want to wear a little dress, I want to wear a little crop top and shorts. Like they were all the same like color.
Well, it was
not
like
even color. But
Ginger
like,
Spice had like this big baggy like army jacket on with like a bra, and her hair was all like wild and curly, and then Posh had like an army probably
Gucci
little
dress.
Gucci dress. And
Gucci
it's like
dress.
everyone dressed to their character.
but they were on theme.
The Spice Girls were like cracked me. Also, I need to talk about the AOL chat rooms, because that's around the time that I discovered AOL chat rooms, and it's before my parents probably even knew about it. So I used to go in AOL chat rooms, and I'd be like, hey guys. So you could you could look something up. So I always would look up Spice Girls, obviously, and Beanie Babies. And I would go into the Spice Girls chat rooms, and I'd be like, hey guys, I just wanted to let you know.
That I also love the Spice Girls.
No, I said, Ginger Spice is here, and I'm taking questions.
Shut up.
I was like the original catfish, and there was literally no way. And everyone's like, no way. And I was like, yeah, what do you guys want to know? And I knew everything about Ginger. So I'd be like, and I would literally take on the persona of Ginger Spice in the AOL chat rooms. You guys
Would
didn't
you
know that?
narrate it in your head with a British accent?
No, I pretended like I was with Ginger. I was like, oh, Ginger's my cousin.
typing for her.
No, I was typing as my cousin, me, and Ginger Spice.
I literally
Got
need
it.
everyone to know that I, for one, did not. Bailey, did you know this?
No.
Yeah, no. This is the first time we're hearing this, and I need. Are you okay?
Go on.
I'm okay. I mean,
Okay,
this is just.
number one catfish. Go for it.
I wish I would have just. Like, I was an early adopter.
of
Clearly.
catfishing.
Yeah. Okay. And so I would go in there, and I would just like talk to people and be like, and then I'd go in like a different room and be like, I'm with Scary Spice. Who has a question?
Me?
How dare.
But I mean, I mainly was like Ginger because I knew Ginger. So
Wow.
yeah.
Should I tell the story about when I was catfished? I just like don't have words.
Why?
The only reason I think the only reason I think I don't have words is because like I'm really thinking back to like early days internet, like when we had
I was 10
we had
or 9.
a shared family computer that lived in our den, and I remember that
No,
like
this was in Rimpath.
I don't even remember a computer in Rimpath.
Yeah, it was in my room. So I was on that thing, and I was like,
This is Ginger.
I'm like, Ginger Spice is logging in. Who wants to talk to her? I mean, it wasn't like I was like literally making regular appearances in AOL chat rooms, but
I think
did.
I'm just more like shocked that you were catfishing people before we knew what catfishing was.
Well, and people couldn't Google it. Google
and
wasn't
no one
really
knew.
there.
Yeah, no one knew.
Yeah.
Some
I know.
poor dude, I bet you some people that are two truths and a lie, they're probably like, I
Wasn't it
talked to Ginger Spice.
in an AOL chat room? I don't
Yes.
believe it was that believable because I mean, I was literally like
You're, like,
9 or 10.
misspelling words.
So I was probably like, it was probably a very tame version, but I thought I was doing a good
But like,
job.
think about the internet back then. Like, I would have believed
It
anything.
was the Wild West.
Something embarrassing about me when we moved to Texas, it was '03, right? And we had our computer downstairs in like our little game room area. And I had my little AIM. I was talking to my friend Carissa, and she was a year older than me, so I always thought she was like a little cooler than I was. And we're IMing, and she's like, okay, BRB. Well, I didn't know what BRB meant, right? So for whatever reason, my like 5th grade going into 6th grade brain thought that meant burp. And so I responded, fart. And then like probably 10 minutes later, when she comes back to her computer, she
And you're like, why is it?
she responds and she's like, what? And I was like, nothing. And she was like, okay. Like, she didn't say anything weird. And then I was like, clearly that's not, like, we weren't talking about burps and farts, you know
Wait,
what I mean?
what was your guys' AOL screen name?
TX Cowgirl 292.
I feel like that's still your email.
Wait, or it was
Mine is-
Page Forever 7.
Mine's the worst one. I was Babob Chica 13. Anyway, what was your screen name?
My
Jade?
screen name was, I first started out with J1 Lucy fan because mom made, because I love Lucy, and mom made me that screen name.
Mom thought she
But it
was
was-
gonna keep you contained.
She was JA1 Lucy fan, and then I realized that screen name is for losers. So then I went to, I think it was Sun Your Buns, or did I go straight into It's Me Jade B?
No, you had Sandy Cheeks.
I think Sun Your Buns.
Sun Your Buns was first, and then you had
Sun
Sandy
Your
Cheeks.
Buns 245, which is kind of cute, and then Sandy Cheeks, which was from SpongeBob, and then and then it was Jader Bader 07, which didn't make sense because I graduated in 06,
And you're actually tighter.
and I'm actually Jader Tater. And then somewhere in between there, though, like I had landed on It's Me Jade B, but I just didn't see the
potential.
star potential.
Yeah.
So I just kept like being like, no, Cindy Cheeks, no, Sun Your Buns. But It's Me Jade B is like who I am in my soul. It's me Jade B.
It is you,
Yeah.
JB.
But Jader Bader 07 is actually a good one too. A lot of people called me that, but it just didn't make sense because I was a chick of 06.
Right, but can we talk about a very recent outing that we had on Rainy Street in Austin? Someone not in our group, someone just said the word tighter, and Jade turns around, and this person who said it was clearly not talking to her. He does not know Jade. He does not know that Jade or Tater was ever a nickname.
No, he was literally calling out the order
Like of tater tots. And so he's like, tighter. And Jade turns around, but then she proceeds to explain to everybody for the rest of the day, my nickname was Tater, and that's me, I'm Tater.
They called me Jader Tater.
So actually, for the rest of this podcast, we can just call Jade Tater.
I wish people would call me Tighter more often. Because yes, why not?
I think Tater.
Tater's cute.
Tighter head. Tighter bop.
Taterhead.
Tater tutor.
Tater. Hardly
Tater.
know her.
Tater Tutor.
Tighter. Hardly know her.
Honestly, just real quick, can we go back to the Spice Girls, and can I ask both of you?
Sure.
Okay. Hit me.
Favorite Spice Girl song? Tonight.
Wait. Well, shoot. We should have sang it at the same
Wait.
time.
Well, you already started, so you just.
I know. That's why I said
Say
shoot.
you'll be there.
You were doing Tonight is the night that you become one. Say You'll Be There.
I think Say You'll Be There is one of the best songs.
It's because it's a baby focus song.
I also love that I loved the music video for that one. In the desert where they're all wearing black and they look like fembots and they look so hot.
So, yes, the song that I love that's not even their song is Come On, Come. Only because we see the boys' butts. And I was like, oh my God, we're seeing their butts.
Wanna be in my gang, my gang, you wanna be in my gang. Oh yeah. They came up with a compromise, and that's why the guys have the butts in the
But the girls didn't even know that
Yeah.
was the compromise.
I
It
know.
was, honestly, it was crazy. And then they met the aliens.
Yeah.
And then Jerry had to give him a kiss.
That would be me. Like, I would be the one kissing an alien.
They're like, I don't remember it, but they were like, dee, 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 dee.
And then
it's
their
like
little
reading the
alien
captions.
The alien fingers were like on her boobs.
Yeah, they're like two little dee, dee.
Oh my god, that movie is so good. I loved the montage scene where they all dressed up as like different people through history. Oh, I died for that. And then I don't know maybe it's just like my childhood brain, but I loved when they dressed up as each other. Like, I got the biggest kick out of that.
Same, but my favorite part obviously being like with the music running through my veins, it's just like, it always made me so happy that they actually made it to their last concert, like at the end, you know what I mean?
Because we didn't know if they were
not know if they were gonna, like, they had their issues, like they were doing their own thing, and like they made it.
And they showed up, and then they got back together.
It was
beautiful.
the love story I needed as a child.
Yeah. Yeah.
And honestly, you don't fucking have that nowadays.
You don't. And can we talk about NSYNC? How you cannot... NSYNC did not have the sort of appeal as Spice Girls did, where like every girl had a Spice Girl. Mm-hmm. And there was no really leftovers on Spice Girls. But there was a lot of leftovers on NSYNC and Backstreet Boys.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk... Honestly, this is my favorite topic.
And
so
I got a leftover on NSYNC.
Let's talk about it.
And my leftover... So in the crew I ran with, I was the youngest. So I may be the oldest in your crew, but I was the youngest. So somebody already claimed Justin. Obviously, he was first pick. Then JC, obviously, second pick. And so I had to choose between Joey, Chris, and Lance. And I was like, well, Lance is obviously a heartthrob. He sings bass. He's a mama's boy.
Just because his last name's Bass.
And his last name is Bass.
Bass.
Bass. No, he does sing bass.
You can't tell.
No, he does. In the page.
I know, and like I believe you, but like we all know we can't really tell who sings what harmonies, but like we know that it's like Justin or JC.
No.
Okay.
Lance sings bass. And so I had to be with Lance, and I literally doubled down on Lance. Like, I would make out with my pillow to Lance. I would literally dream about Lance, Jade, Bass, like, writing it in my notebook. But really, Lance...
Well, so for me, as your sister,
what
I was allowed to do... No. So I was allowed to have JC only because the only people I hung out with in your crew was...
Amanda.
And
she had Justin.
So Amanda had Justin.
But Marilyn had JC.
You had Lance, and you guys had... Amanda's mom was like
a seamstress.
So she had these two mannequins, right?
Yeah.
So like
we
we would
would
go into their
slow
little back house.
Yeah.
And you guys would take the two mannequins and we would slow dance. And you would be slow dancing with Lance, and she would be slow dancing with Justin. And then I was allowed to have any of those leftovers because none of your other friends were there. So then my leftover, I was like, okay, out of the other three, like I have JC. But I didn't have a mannequin, so I would dance. I would slow dance with a lamp. So it's like this really skinny rod lamp that, like, because whenever, what you guys need to understand is, like, with Amanda, like, Amanda had a little brother that was my age, but like me and Ian were like such great friends, but then there was that little like awkward stage where it's like, I'm a girl too, and like I want to hang out with the girls, and like the girls are slow dancing with mannequins. Like I want to slow dance with something. Oh, there's not another mannequin. I'll slow dance with a skinny little lamp. And like I'm like, this is JC. Like I'm allowed to have JC. And as weird as that all sounds, it felt super normal at the time. And yeah. I don't even think there was.
I don't think Bailey
there was even
there.
like a leftover to even like I was like consider.
Oh, when are these guys going to be my dad? I wasn't like, I want to dance with any of these men. was like, all right, you guys go do that. I'm Scary Spice.
Bailey was like, I'm just learning how to talk.
Yeah.
Bailey's like, boys? Dad?
Yeah, that was good times. I did slow dance with that mannequin a lot.
Did you ever kiss the mannequin?
With a lamp. A skinny,
But we would like turn
floor
out the
lamp.
lights and it'd be like, all my life I've waited for someone like you. No, Amanda and I were like literally, we were that show Pin 15. That was Amanda and I. Like we would talk about like all the guys in our grade. They probably had no idea who we were because we were like such nerds, but like we were so hyper aware.
You guys were so
everything.
aware. You guys were just both so quiet.
We were both so quiet, and we were just like, oh my God, will so-and-so like ever ask us out? We like treated boys in our middle school like they were Justin Timberlake, and we were so shy, like literally the most shy people ever. And I remember when this girl came up to Amanda and made fun of her jacket because she had a really cool Roxy jacket, but it was like a print, and I remember just letting it happen. I know.
Honestly, what are you supposed to do?
But then we were both just like, fuck. It was like a dig to both of us.
Well, because that's like such a learning moment for both of you guys. Like, you're like, she is like experiencing bullying, and you are.
It wasn't even bullying. The girl was just like, you're
roasting her. Jealous.
I mean, it was just like a light sense of bullying. And then another girl came up to me and she was like, say this. And it was like written on a card. And it was literally, I am Sofa King Weetod did. And I was like, I am so fucking Weetod. Fuck. And I like said it out loud, and I was just like, just my skin was radiating. And I just could not be more embarrassed. And it was just, I'll never forget those days.
Honestly, that makes me feel sad for you that your mom and Amanda's mom came to pick you guys up from school like hillbillies that
Oh my God, they tortured us. They came to every single dance
because it was fun.
But then we would we would come hang out with our moms at the school dances because they ran the photo booth and our moms were so cool. And Amanda and I would be like, there's a slow song coming on.
Yeah.
Let's go hang out with our moms so nobody even has the option of asking us to dance.
No one has the chance.
But then it was like everyone is also grinding in there, and I was just like, oh my God. Like, I don't know how to grind. Then 8th grade, I kind of like caught my stride.
I still don't know how to grind.
I do.
Honey,
Call me.
you got 2 sisters. We'll teach you.
We'll teach you. We'll do a grind train right here. I'll tell you.
No.
Hey,
on over.
Put on Hot in Here by Nelly.
No.
Wait, by the way, speaking of Hot in Here by Nelly, I was shocked at the amount of people who did not understand why 50 Cent was upside down at the Super Bowl.
Talk about it.
I was honestly like,
First of all, he was a surprise. He was a surprise guest. It was an honor. Mm-hmm. Continue.
well, the whole reason he was upside down is because in 50 Cent's first video in the club, he starts out upside down, and the whole like premise of the video is like he's getting this physical and he's upside down like doing like crunches. So it was actually so genius that he started in that way, and like that was over 20 years ago when he first did that music video. So yeah, he's a little different looking,
Which
but he still fit.
But
He looked great.
I thought, okay, first of all, I thought he looked,
I thought he looked
he
good.
can get it.
Oh, 50 Cent
We-
can get it.
Okay, first of all,
He's always been able to get it.
We were talking
he will
about
forever be
how
able to get it.
Dr. Dre can get it.
Oh, Dr. Dre.
Duh.
Hi, Dr. Dre. Like, I don't know how explicit we're going to get in this episode.
We don't need to get explicit, but like they can get it, and I'm pretty sure. I'm actually not super sure, but like I'm pretty sure all of the songs. I don't know as much Mary J. Blige, but like I'm pretty sure all of the songs are older songs. Like they're older songs. I don't know when was Lose Yourself out. That's
Lose
a long
Yourself
time
was
now.
when I was in
Gotta
high
be
school.
2000.
So it's like
No, it was like probably 2004 or 5. Yeah.
so like a long time.
Yeah.
So like before I know how to.
So like almost 20 years.
Well, that's another thing that I was actually shocked at, that so many people didn't know those songs. Like Mary J, I honestly could have done out. If you want to know my real thoughts on the Super Bowl halftime show, I could have done without Mary J. Blige, and I could have done with more Eminem. But
I agree.
I think
she did a great job. But
she did a great job. But
Her outfit was killer. I liked her outfit.
I know, but like I could have done with an NWA tribute. I think NWA needed to have more of a tribute there, and I heard that Ice Cube was supposed to be there, but he refused to get vaccinated, like whatever. But I feel like LA's rap scene really started popping off with NWA, and it would have been cool to just have like some sort of nod to Ice Cube and Eazy-E, because like Dr. J would not be Dr. J without those two. And then I also would have liked a little bit more Tupac. We had California Love, which is obviously an amazing song, but Tupac is so Los Angeles. Like if we were doubling down on the whole Los Angeles theme, which I literally got chills when they started out. Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg, like that sound is the sound of the 90s to me.
Yeah, the only reason why I'm like torn on the whole Tupac thing is because like you do want, like there's only so much time for the halftime show.
Yeah,
you know
but
what I
like
mean?
you
And
could
like you do want to promote the people who are there.
Yes, but they also have given Justin Timberlake, the biggest fucking loser in this whole world. He got to do this like whole abstract, like Justin Timberlake and the Tennessee Kids, and like who knew what he was doing that time. But like Tupac is literally integral to LA culture, and they couldn't have done like literally 5 seconds of just like any of, because
That would have been a nice tribute, but also I think my point is like Justin Timberlake is still alive.
No, but Justin Timberlake is such a loser, and if you need me to elaborate on why he's such a loser,
Well, you don't need to get into
will.
Justin Timberlake, but I do agree that Eminem should have had more time.
I agree
and
too.
Oh my god, the
Mary
fact
J
that,
did a
the fact that
great job.
Eminem had one
I was truly
song.
shocked. I was shocked that Mary J. Blige had like 2 or 3.
Dude, Mary J,
She, like-
get her out of here. I'm sorry, like
No, she did a great job.
she
and
did
she's important.
she did so great, but
Not to me, but to everyone else.
no. I thought she was so great, but like I loved her first song, and then we could have.
I didn't know the other song.
No, I think
we
she
could've-
needed to pop in, pop out. She's already had
Yeah.
her time. She was there the 2002 Super Bowl
But
halftime
I
show.
also think that that's what Eminem was kind of thinking. It was like,
no,
yeah,
we
I'm
needed.
here and I'm gonna do this thing and I'm gonna contribute in the way that, like, he was like also like, I'm happy to be here and like you guys go on, like you do this. Like
it
he's
needed
not
to be like it needed to
saying
be
that if it's an
No,
LA
no, no,
thing,
no, no.
then he's not from LA.
No, but the whole point is Dr. Dre,
Dr. Dre.
is LA. It's
Yeah.
all about Dr. Dre. Dr. Dre
found
is
Eminem.
and then Eminem found 50 Cent. What we needed to happen was Dr. Dre going jugga 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 jugga. Ha! My name is what? My name is.
So you want to know what I thought was gonna happen? Whenever Kendrick Lamar had his dancers,
yeah,
and they all had their blonde hair.
Yes.
My announcement was, oh, these dancers are gonna double as will the real Slim Shady please stand up dancers.
Why did that
I
not
thought that
happen?
was such a brilliant prediction, and I was
But like, no,
so
I thought the
disappointed when they
same
didn't.
thing, and that really pissed me off that they didn't. Because can you imagine if Kendrick Lamar was like, "Will the real Slim Shady," or if it just went throughout the stadium, "Will the real Slim
If
Shady
it like
please stand
paused,
up?"
if everything stopped for
Yes.
1 second,
and then he came up. Like Eminem is so fucking huge. I don't. It boggles my mind because I'm on TikTok all the time, and I don't think these kids understand how big Dr. Dre's Chronic album was, and then also the 2000 Chronic. Like those albums were everything.
Well, and
then also Eminem.
I was an Eminem stan.
Yeah,
literally
Stan comes from Eminem.
Literally, an Eminem stan. Eminem was my wallpaper on my
And
desk.
you guys can
on my
rap
on my
so
laptop.
much Eminem too.
When I had my first computer when I was going into college, I was like, and it was the hottest. He was in like a little wife beater, and
Yeah,
like
he's
hot.
hot.
Like I love Eminem, and like he has some of the dirtiest lyrics, but like, you know
The
what?
worst lyrics.
We are singing every word of it because guess what? We know all of the words to Eminem's lyrics, and like I would have liked more Eminem.
We all would have liked,
But I appreciated what it was. The only thing is I wish there was a little less married. I like that she was there because I think she did add a lot of like aesthetic to it. Like I think she looked beautiful and I think it was great. And I don't think it should have been all men that were there just because like she is a powerhouse.
But why?
Because like she has a huge fan base. She added so much to the show. But I think that like we could have had one song from her and 2 songs from Eminem instead of like 2 or 3 songs from her and like 1 song from Eminem.
I think I would have liked, one song from Mary J.
1 song for her while he was getting ready.
Yeah, like Family Affair, that's like a good song. So
Yeah.
play that and then let Eminem have way more songs. Honestly, this show proved to me that I think Eminem could be the Super Bowl halftime show.
Duh.
Like he has so many hits. He is such an epic performer. And if you're okay, but it opened the door to allow a hip hop person because in the past because after Justin motherfucking Timberlake pulled down Janet Jackson's boob,
I was in 4th grade.
There was a long line of boring ass Super Bowl halftime shows. Like it was all rock people, which I love rock, but it was like Paul McCartney. So then we have like the Wings and like, that whole era. Like it was just so boring until now. Like we've kind of like built our way back up to allow for like a more controversial halftime show.
Or
And
we
it wasn't
allow
even
for
controversial.
respect.
Controversial. But do you think that it was an accident when
No, I think
Justin Timberlake pulled off
I think
when he grabbed her shirt and pulled it off? Do you think that was an accident?
the line was, "I'm gonna have you naked by the end of this song," and they had planned to do it.
And she had a pasty on.
I know. So then she said, "I don't want you to do that. We're not going to do that. The plan is scrapped." And he said, "Okay." And then he went on and then he did it. And then guess who took the entire fall?
Janet
Janet Jackson, who is an epic performer, like so amazing. This honestly halted Janet's career.
100%. And no one else knows. Her career completely halted after that until this year's documentary came out.
Yes. And Janet, like, she was on a roll. Like, she was putting out hit after hit. She was so amazing. Honestly, Justin Timberlake owes all of us because we lost out on Janet Jackson's hits because he stole that from us.
No, honestly.
And
like,
he stole Britney Jean Spears.
No, what I was going to say is he does not owe us anything. What he owes is he owes Britney. He owes Janet. He owes... I can promise you they are not the only women that he's wronged to further his career. He owes them a very sincere apology.
He's apologized to Britney Spears.
I'm sure.
Yeah, but he also, like...
I'm sure.
Britney was put into this factory that's like, oh, you're gonna be the virginal girl that everyone wants, and you're gonna say that you're waiting until marriage. And then when they broke up, Justin said, oh yeah, I hooked up with her. what he said was, I fucked her on a radio show. This is what, like, I don't get, like, why people like Justin so much. Like, he is such a little turd. He is the definition of a turd.
But from in that time, he was still a kid.
Doesn't matter.
20. But, like,
so was Brittany. Brittany was a kid, but no one gave her any
we didn't
slack
know
at all.
that we should.
Yes,
I'm saying
it doesn't matter if we're gonna hold.
You were an infant.
Exactly. And so it's like, looking back, it's like, oh my God, no one was taking
there-
care of
no.
Brittany. And also, if we're gonna say that, then like, no one, like,
But Brittany wasn't stepping on other people to get to where she is, and
I
Justin
agree.
was.
I think that Justin capitalized where he should not have capitalized.
The issue was there were adults older than Justin, older than Brittany, who were creating this whole story, who were making it bigger than it needed to be, because honestly, for that conversation, it was brought up. Like, he did not bring that up on his own. Like, he's the one that said what he said.
Well,
right?
he was on a radio show.
He
and
was
they
on
were
a
egging
radio
him
show.
on.
They were egging him on, and these people were doing it on purpose, and that's fucked up. Like, that's crazy. Like, that is crazy, and no one cared. No one, and this kind of brings it all in that, like, no one has really cared about women in, honestly, any industry, but like especially the music industry. Like, that is music industry, movies, but like you have to have women in movies, right? But like with music, like it is the most prominent in my eyes that like no one has given a shit about women in music.
And it's crazy. I completely agree. It's crazy because the people I love to watch the most are women.
Well, because you're a woman.
But like, don't guys like watching?
I don't know. Like,
it's so crazy because like in country music, it's such a guy's world. And then I see these women, like, you introduced me to a ton of girls. Like Priscilla Block just came out, and I'm like, she is, first of all, gorgeous. And the fact that she's like so curvy, her voice is beautiful.
voice is insane.
And her lyrics are so fucking awesome. I'm like,
which is honestly, talk about freaking country music. Like, it is all about the lyrics. Like, country music is about the lyrics, and honestly, women write better lyrics.
Exactly. The guys literally write such shit lyrics. Their lyrics are like literally shooting fish in a barrel. It's like, what is this girl gonna lack? Oh, you got your heart broke and he wants you back though? Like,
it is truly, it drives me insane. It boggles my mind. But that is the reason why Janet Jackson was the one that her career halted. That is the reason why, like, Britney was the quote unquote slut. You were not the slut, Britney. You were not the slut. You are not a slut. But like, they painted her to be a slut because she had sex before marriage. Like, I'm sorry. Let's talk about, love you, Jonas Brothers, but like the freaking Jonas Brothers like had their purity rings, and then guess what? One day they're not wearing them anymore because,
and nobody's like slut shaming them.
and the only thing that was said was, oop, guess they're not wearing their rings anymore.
Don't be a Justin Timberlake. I think that's the goal. And while you're at it, don't be a Jessica Biel because she's annoying. And don't be an Olivia Wilde as well because she's annoying. And I got in trouble for saying that on TikTok, and everyone said, you don't like to support women. Oh, I'm sorry. Having an opinion makes me not support women.
I like Olivia Wilde as an actress.
I like Olivia Wilde on the OC.
I have
she's
an
on the
issue
OC.
with Olivia Wilde as Harry Styles' girlfriend.
Olivia Wilde dancing at Harry Styles' concert.
No, in my brain, they have to be two different people.
No, they literally cannot be the
They
same
cannot be
person. Because I hate the Olivia Wilde dancing at the concert.
Have you ever seen anyone dance like the way she dances at any concert ever?
It's like
It's probably the way I dance.
no,
Bailey.
No,
I haven't seen the video.
no. She is dancing like everyone is watching.
So she's on ecstasy?
No, I wish she looked like she was dancing on ecstasy.
What do you think, Paige?
No, she's dancing like she's like, I want the whole entire world to know Harry Styles is my boyfriend and I am a hot bitch. Yes,
She's
I don't
more
more coordinated than
that on
ecstasy,
that.
but like very 5, 6, 7, 8.
She has to pretend like
she's pretending.
She's pretending.
She's doing an act. It is a bit in her mind, and she thinks she's really doing something with this, and she's not. And I know it's not lovely to say, but you know what? That's just, you guys don't even have to say anything. I could go on and on and on. I have a whole list of people I could talk about like this.
I don't think
that's
we need
the
to
one for
talk
me.
about that.
You don't, okay, these
I don't
opinions
like to say
are
any
not
bad things.
There's just not a lot of people that make me as uncomfortable as watching Olivia Wilde dance at Harry Styles. Like Bailey.
Like, okay, I
Okay, I
love
don't watch the
here's the
videos.
thing. This is for my TikTok followers because I got for some reason I made a video about this on TikTok and it blew up. I got like millions of views. Like probably like a million, but still like that's a lot. Like
That's
over a million. And
A million more than me.
and people were very upset with the fact that I didn't like the way Olivia Wilde was dancing. And I think the whole TikTok was Olivia Wilde is stealing Jessica Biel's bit, meaning being annoying as fuck, married or dating a potentially annoying singer, boy bander.
I will say, I know. Sorry, buddy.
But
Jessica Biel does not annoy me as much as Olivia Wilde annoys me.
have you ever followed Jessica Biel on Instagram?
Yeah, I have. And you know what? Like, she is very supportive, and I do think
Have you ever seen that video of her being like, baby,
Jade,
I want you
I
to
think
get out there and rock. And I'm so
Okay,
proud
yes,
of you.
yes,
and I wish I
Jade,
could be
yes.
out there with you. Fake
That
tear
is-
rolling down the cheek.
okay, that is more of an actress in my eyes than what Olivia Wilde does. Like because I don't think their I don't want to speak on anyone's relationship, but like
Here we are.
I am speechless.
if it is for publicity, okay, that's what I want to see. She does not post too much or too often. Olivia Wilde is literally wilding out.
But I think if
Obnoxiously
Jessica Biel,
wilding out.
because Olivia Wilde is just now starting to date Harry Styles, but I think if we could go back in the archives, Jessica Biel's really fucking annoying, and also maybe Olivia Wilde is more annoying.
Honestly,
But I just want everyone on TikTok to know I love that Olivia Wilde is dating Harry Styles. I love that an older woman is dating Harry Styles.
I don't.
But like, I can still make fun of you for being so annoying at a Harry Styles concert, dancing like that. And if I danced like that at my very famous, very cool boyfriend's concert, which I would never date someone that cool, but you should make fun of me.
TBH, I have a lot of things to say. I do not think she should have started dating him so soon after her divorce to Jason Sudeikis.
We
Jason
don't know
Sudeikis.
how
Yes.
long
That
things
is-
have been.
They,
Bailey?
I don't give one
Yes,
little shit.
it was
It was
very soon.
super, super quick. And
She came out with that little flower crown at the wedding.
did not appreciate it. And now
But the
all
two
of a
people
sudden,
involved seem like it's been okay.
out of nowhere, you're divorced, and now you're like,
But Jason Sudeikis, I heard through the blinds, and the blinds allegedly, this is not real, but allegedly, Jason Sudeikis was not a gem, not an angel.
and that's fine. It's not fine.
Not surprised.
It's not,
and it's fine.
it's not fine. That's not fine. However,
Remember when we're
Then-
not a pop culture podcast?
then you can like. But the thing is like, if that's not fine, then you can address that. You don't need to be like weirdly dancing at Harry Styles concerts.
Like, it's
or
amazing.
that's what she's doing. She's dancing through her problems. We've all done weirder things to get through our breakups.
Bailey,
we've all done weirder things to get through breakups.
No,
and she wants to publicly be like,
Bailey,
I'm dating someone way hotter than you.
Have you seen the video?
No, she hasn't. That's why Bailey.
Who cares,
Bailey? Bailey?
I would.
No,
dance
Bailey,
like
it would
that.
be different.
I would get the.
No, it'd be different.
Bailey,
Okay,
no.
Okay,
You
it'd
need
be
to
different if you were.
watch.
If you were dancing like, if you were like literally like
in
just having
church.
the best time.
Like in church, like this is.
But and if you had like your girlfriends around you or a friend around you, she is literally by herself. She knows everyone around her is recording her, and she wants everyone to record her. It's so annoying. And there's a lack of self-awareness with Olivia Wilde where she really thinks she's doing something and she's doing the opposite of what she's doing. She's infuriating everyone.
Yes.
Do you think everyone is actually infuriated?
Yes.
You
I don't
just
think
infuriated?
I think there's people on TikTok that are like, let her live.
Well,
She's
because-
a woman.
Well, I think a lot of people on TikTok are really young or really old, and they don't actually know
me?
Olivia
So
Wilde. No,
me
like we
or
know
Dad?
Olivia. Yes, it's honestly you or Dad. Like you don't know anything Olivia Wilde's been in.
do
Like name something she's been in.
the one thing that we watched all the time.
Thank you for proving my point. And so to you and to Dad, like she is just a woman.
Living her life.
But the thing is like as a celebrity, you're not just a
cares?
woman. You know what I mean? It's like we know you from all of we know her from things.
Yes.
And we're like, and we know her from a previous marriage. We know her from like other things. And then all of a sudden, she's dating Harry. Keep in mind, Harry Styles, who also dated Taylor fucking Swift.
But then also,
Dating
isn't Olivia Wilde, isn't there a connection to Taylor Swift through Olivia Wilde?
I don't know.
I think there is. We'll have to do the math on
Honestly,
that later.
thank you so much for listening to Your Poor Dad. Please subscribe to our podcast. Please follow us on Instagram and TikTok. You can find us at Your Poor Dad Pod on everything.
On TikTok and Instagram. And then don't forget to hashtag get our dad.
Get
our poor dad?
Get your poor dad to Soldier Field.
Get your poor dad to Soldier Field. I think we say
We
a different
will-
hashtag every time.
Get your poor dad to Soldier Field. That's what
Yeah.
pops up as like a suggestion for me now.
Okay, perfect. Get your poor dad to Soldier Field.
We will start creating a campaign, so follow us on Instagram, and then
Yes.
you'll see us posting about that a lot more often. Hasn't happened yet, but it will. And then let us know. Do you know how we can get our poor dad to Soldier Field? Sorry, we're talking about this at the very end. I swear to God, Dad, we love you, and we do want to make this happen. We'll talk about it at the beginning of next time.
Yeah.
We'll figure that out. All right, so thank you guys for listening, and we will see you next week. Bye!